This is my Cold Mage build. Let's call it the Sub-Zero build.
Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory.
It deals insane damage and builds up freeze quickly. Just like Sub-Zero, it can freeze enemies in place, giving you even more chances to move in and land extra hits. Now what's even more crazy about this build is that you can lifesteal with your runes, basically giving you a lot of survivability on top of its high damage. With this build, I can easily clear the highest difficulty level of Outbreaks in the game. In this run, I even faced the Bat boss, which is essentially 2 bosses at once, making the fight even more challenging. I'll show the full battle so you can see how it plays out. I missed a few of the orbs, but it was still enough to instantly freeze the target. Now I get to move in and land extra hits. Since there are 2 enemies, I have to carefully wait for the right moment to use my rune attack. And because this is the hardest Outbreak tier, I can only use 1 rune ability before it's completely depleted. The frustrating part is that I have to jump into melee just to generate focus. Since the Breach update, I've played over 50, maybe even 60 hours, and I still haven't found any of the new rings, so this build relies on the classic ones. The Ring of Determination would have helped a lot with this build. Another frustrating part of this Outbreak fight is the movement speed penalty for each nearby enemy, and right now, I'm dealing with 2 of them. We've got the hardest difficulty and 2 bosses at once. This is the perfect scenario to showcase how strong this build really is. So far, I've just been dodging their attacks, waiting for the right moment to hit them with some icy projectiles. Dodge rolling into an attack is the quickest way to land a clean hit and generate focus efficiently. For anyone new to the game, this is the final boss in the current main story. Technically, the moves are easy to read, but the fight gets frustrating when the boss doesn't give you a moment to breathe, chaining one attack after another. I think it's about time I stop talking and start attacking. Just look at that damage. Another amazing part of this build is that the weapon we are using, the third attack of it becomes a range finisher. Once you take down one of the bats, the fight becomes much more manageable. Now I'm just waiting for him to land and stop flying around. Finally, he stopped. Now you just charge up your rune attack and boom, he's wiped out. The rewards for completing a max out Outbreak is so satisfying. I really love the dodge roll attack on this weapon. It feels smooth and clean. Now let's dive into the gear for this build. For the weapon, we are using the 2-handed staff, the Endless Winter. I'll show you at the end where you can get it. It comes with 2 runes, the Homing Frost and Frost Stream. Both are amazing to use. Unfortunately, high-level Outbreaks limit your focus, so for them I would recommend just using Homing Frost. Now for the gem, I went with Lifesteal as this gives me the best survivability considering I'm wearing all cloth armor. I'll get in a minute why I'm wearing all cloth. For the enchantments I have. Damage increased for large enemies. All bosses will feel more easy with this. Gain focus on kill. This is really good for when you deal with multiple enemies as you can keep spamming runes without the need to melee hit to generate focus. Then we have some stamina recovery based on durability. And finally, we've got Indestructible that nullifies the unrepairable downside of the Plague gear. It also maximizes all the effects that are based on durability. Now onto the armor. As you noticed, we are using all cloth as I want my weight to be as low as possible. This is because the dodge roll into attack combo will change if my weight is different. Currently, we have a fast and clean combo, but if for example I add any heavier piece of armor and my weight changes, the attack animation becomes way slower and clunkier. So, let's start with the helmet. For the gem, I went with maximum focus increased. On the helmet, it's the highest at 15%. On the rest of the armor, it will be only 10%. For the enchantments, we have cold damage increased, gain focus on any buildup. In our case, we've got cold buildup when we freeze the target. Gain health on rune attack for more survivability. We've got even more weight decrease. And finally, for the downside of the plague weapon, we have drain health in combat. The amount is really not even noticeable. For the main armor, we have damage taken decreased for more survivability. Focus gain increased to generate focus faster in combat. We've got armor decreased for enemies when they are frozen. And lastly, we've got indestructible, which counters the unrepairable downside of plague armors. This also maximizes all the effects that are based on durability. Almost forgot about the gem. The armor gives the highest health increase in the gem slot, which is 15%. All the other armors give 10%. For the gloves, I went with a focus cost decreased gem. Damage taken decreased again. Focus gain increased. Frost buildup increased. This one I need to farm more to exalt. And finally, indestructible and unrepairable. Just like the armor gives the highest health bonus, the pants provide the highest stamina increase from a gem. Then we have more damage taken decreased, more focus gain, and a bit of item weight decreased. For the rings, we've got the Ring of Broken Promises, which gives more damage but also decreases your damage taken. Then the Rune Ring, which gives more rune damage but lowers your normal attack damage. And finally, we've got the Plagued Ring, which gives more lifesteal. The best part is that you can lifesteal with your rune attacks. A few more things that can help with this build are the food consumables. The sirloin platter not only heals but also gives plus 45 health for 3 minutes. This was originally 10 minutes, but they nerfed it. Then we have the shepherd's pie, which gives 10% more damage. You can combine this with the damage surge rune. And finally, the fish skewer, which heals and gives 50 focus instantly. Potions don't give focus anymore. They give focus gain. This fish food is the best way to get some instant focus without having to go in and deal melee damage. For the stats, we have 40 in health for the best survivability, considering we are wearing all cloth armor. Then 55 in intelligence to use the weapon and deal more overall damage. 20 in focus to be able to use more rune attacks. And just 2 in equip load to get me into the fastest weight class. The staff Endless Winter can be obtained from Eleanor, but you need to upgrade her shop to the maximum level. And that's it, the Sub-Zero build. If you liked this video, consider subscribing, and if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments. And don't forget to get some sleep before a boss fight, as this will give you a health boost.